everyone, and welcome back to the Ms.Dria show, where I'm your host, Ms.Dria, and here I have with me my beautiful co-host,
Yada Yada.
And here with us, we have the one and only Miss Shelia Chamberlain. She's the Army's first African-American combat intelligence aviator, right? Please tell me, first of all, what was it? Where are you from? Because I just want to get into this conversation. Where are you from?
Pretty much raised in West Germany, born and raised over there.
Okay.
And back then, you know, you had two birth certificates, but it's a new day now. But back then, that's how they did it. A lot of people went to Germany on a boat. That's how military traveled to Germany back then.
Right.
On a boat before the planes started coming in.
Right.
But they were talking about
in Germany.
What part of Germany?
Grafenvoir, something. Graf. I may not be saying it right, but it's Graf.
There's a lot of Graffens.
It's Grafin something. But she's in the military as well. Well, she was in the military. So,
well,
in the Army.
Well, she's a veteran then.
Yes,
she served her country.
And my brother-in-law.
So they're both veterans.
Most definitely.
And I'm very, very keen on veteran issues.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, that's what I decided to do. It's been my whole life. So, raised in a post-Nazi Germany.
Okay.
We were there when the Berlin Wall went up. And I'm so glad to be alive to see it come down in my lifetime. Not too many friends I can have talk who were in Germany.
Right.
That we were there. We lived it as children.
Wow.
But growing up in post-Nazi Germany, you know, we are Anne Frankers, my family. We are Anne Frankers. Anne Frank.
Anne Frank, the Diary.
The Diary of Anne Frank. So we always believe that there's good in the world, no matter what. And that's how my mother and my father raised us.
That's excellent.
You know, and I came to the United States 1970.
Okay.
So how many years were you in Germany?
Until 1970. I won't tell you the age.
Yeah.
Just know it was the 50s. Okay, just know it was the 50s.
Right.
You know, so that kind of sort of thing.
True.
Okay.
And,
Gotcha.
so, of course, my father was in the military.
Right.
And he served 3 tours of Vietnam. And as a stipulation, he kept us in Europe while he did his service to his country. And that's, you know, that's my formal upcoming.
Okay. So tell me, what was it like going into the military as a woman? Because, you know, we as women, whether it's entertainment, whether, you know, it's a regular office job, when we're compared to a male, especially being in the military, it's like, it's tough. The military is tough. They look at it as a man's job.
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, Demi Moore did a movie, you know.
Excellent.
You know, she was in the Marine Corps during the movie.
But
Now you have a lot of women in the Marine Corps. But with any male-dominated arena,
Right.
we fought so hard. I'm the generation that came after the doors were open. We knocked the doors down. Just because they were open.
Right.
I mean, they were built. Nobody was going through them.
Right.
And so I'm with that 50, 60-something generation that, you know what, we knocked them down and we went through them. So you all can have stuff like this.
Right.
You know,
You've created.
my parents grew up in Jim Crow. I was born into the Jim Crow era.
Right.
And so to see a lot happening now, there's always going to be, even the presidential race, you see the man against the woman, the alpha male against, I mean, the ladies getting beat up so bad. No, I'm serious. Her bar is so high and his is,
Yeah.
he just got to show up.
Yeah.
So we're back to this. We fought so hard, you know. So being in the military as a black female, I went to Spelman College. And the first time that West Point was accepting women, my mother, because I went to Fort Knox High School. I'm a graduate of Fort Knox High School. Department of Defense schools.
Right.
Okay, and at the time, Fort Knox was the only military high school like that in the country. And so shout out to my Fort Knox High School graduates. I think there's less than 50 of our classmates left. But we all did something.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
All of us have done
I
something.
would think so, being in Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
With the
think so.
gold.
I would
Yes.
hope so.
My favorite movie is Goldfinger. So, and people used to go, why? I'm like, hey, you know, at Fort Knox, we lived on a strata, and I had to open up the stables because, you know, we love horses. My father's from Memphis. And so he grew up with a lot of horses. So I'm used to being around horses, so I took the job. We all worked.
Okay.
So I took the job taking care of the horses. I'd get up at 4, be at the stables at 4:30, around walk. Back then, we all walked.
Right.
Or if we, and then we saved enough money to get a bicycle. And then we rode the bicycle, and we walked to school. I would walk to high school. And so coming down that first, I would come around the corner, check out the stables, feed the animals, get the horses out, get them a little going. You know, then I had to take a shower because everybody would say, Sheila, you've been with those horses.
Right.
And then I'd go down the steep hill looking at the gold vault. Back then, you were able to walk up and sit down at the gold vault. You know, not like now. Now you can't.
Right.
It's really like Fort Knox. But at the time, one of my classmates worked for the gold vault. And, you know, Doug Simmons. Doug, if you see this, you know, I'm putting a shout out at you. He's our classmate. He worked at the gold vault until he started knowing too much, and they had to fire him.
Oh,
you know,
man.
not because of him, but he was knowing, he was older now and knowing too much. But those kind of stories you don't get. And I was in R.O.T.C. every year at Fort Knox. So I started my military career when I was
coming out of the womb.
So there you go.
Yeah, you was ready.
Right there.
The first opportunity you could be in.
Following my footsteps of my family.
Yeah, of course. Right.
You know, so I have a whole family, all my brothers, everyone. I'm the first woman in my immediate family to go. I became an officer, and I appreciate it. You know, there's just a lot. I enjoyed my Spelman Black College experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I had a 4-year Army R.O.T.C scholarship. Could have went anywhere. And
to the all-girls.
So Spelman College.
Spelman College.
So what was it that actually, you know, inspired you to pursue going into combat aviator and then making the first black woman to do it?
I have 2 cousins who are Tuskegee Airmen.
Right.
And also Thomas Allen, a great friend of ours, learned to find out that he was also a cousin from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Okay. Thomas Allen, he and another aviator were the first to fly from California to New York, transcontinental flight.
Okay.
They were black. Okay, sorry about the earring. Okay, so they were black. They were the first ones to fly. They got to New York, and because they were black, New York didn't want to give them the money. Okay, so Banning and Thomas Allen, my relative, come to find out. So he inspired me to fly. So the joy of flying, okay? So he was taught how to fly by Wiley Post.
Wow.
You know, who actually was the pilot of the one who created the flight suit that you have now, and the astronaut suit. You know what I mean? And he was Will Rogers' aviator.
Wow.
So a lot of history.
Right.
And I was inspired. I would fly. The joy of flying. Back then, you had to have an FAA radio license. I don't know if you all have to do it now, but back then, you had to take the test to be on the radio or anything else. Now, I think it's different.
Okay, I don't know. I wouldn't take on that challenge of, you know,
I'm sorry. I just thought I'd get it out to let you know that, because you asked me the question, how was it, how it inspired.
Right.
I was following my father and his father and his father's father all the way back to Joshua Chamberlain from the Civil War up in Gettysburg, and I wanted to keep that tradition. That's who we are. Even my nieces, my nephews right now, my cousins are still in the military. Following, and we're waiting right now. My grandnephew got accepted to the Citadel. We're waiting for that West Point thing to come through.
All right.
So this is last week.
Okay.
So it's we believe in service and public service. You know, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta for over almost 40 years.
Okay.
And it's the only public service sorority. The rest are or social service. We have public service in our name.
Right.
And so I believe in that.
All right.
And I can't believe I'm here having a conversation. I usually
I
just
think it's
behind the
fun.
scenes and get it done.
Right.
So
You know, you
it's a
are
treat.
fearless.
Did I answer that question? How hard?
You did.
It's going to be hard. And once you know it's going to be hard, get over it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean it to, it's here, it's coming. Just as sure as you're a woman, you're going to get it.
Just do it.
Stay with people who love you. Stay around people who support you. Don't go over there now. Don't go over there with people who are going to put you down, bring you down, tear you down. And watch out. One of my favorite movies about friendship is Amadeus. The movie Amadeus, if you haven't seen it, Wolfgang Amadeus. You know, I spent a lot of time and grew up a little bit in Augsburg, too, Germany, where all of his family is from. Okay? Going on to Austria, but it's German.
Right.
Okay? It's Bavaria. People don't understand. Germany's got 16 states. Like we got 50.
Right.
They got 16.
Okay.
Okay? And I was born in the state of Hesse. You understand?
Right.
So everybody's different, got a different dialect, just like here.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I hope people get that.
Okay. Okay, so we actually have a segment on the show where we like to call it a "What do you think" segment. It's where we show you a clip and we like to ask you, what do you think about it?
Oh, my
So we're going to take a break and we're going to check this clip out.
Okay.
LeBron talked about police brutality and the images. He says he's going to stand for the anthem, but here's LeBron James.
You know, I look at my son being 4 years removed from driving his own car and being able to leave the house on his own. And it's a scary thought right now to think, you know, if my son gets pulled over, you know, and you tell your kids, if you just apply and you just listen to the police, that, you know, they will be respectful and things will work itself out. And you see these videos that continue to come out. It's a scary ass situation. That if my son calls me and said he's been pulled over, that I'm not that confident that things are going to go well and my son is going to return home. It's tough being a parent right now when you have a preteen.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing for black parents more than white parents, and white parents. Greg Popovich talked about that yesterday. People will say, statistically, you can't distill kids down to statistics. I'm a parent. I'm not objective about my kids. I'm terrified if they go out late at night and go to a concert. I can't sleep until they get home. You can't ask a black parent in America to boil all the police profiling just down to a statistic. And the people that say they're over-dramatizing it, you're the same conservative white male who watches Fox News all day and thinks ISIS is going to behead you. Statistically, there is no chance of that happening. Statistically, there's a much greater chance that a black child will be profiled in a car. So spare me on the statistics say. People in Los Angeles know. Black families and parents have lived through this. We're not saying it happens with every cop. We're not saying it happens every moment of every day. But in Kansas City, you have no chance of being beheaded by ISIS. There is police profiling going on this second in Kansas City and Indianapolis and Dallas and Minnesota and Seattle. So when I hear people say, the dramatizing statistics, if you got kids, that fear, that terror that black families are going through, it's real. And you don't have any experience with it. I don't have any experience with it. But what LeBron's saying, he's not saying that to gain attention. This is not a protest. That was as real as you're going to get from LeBron. He was asked a question off the cuff. Wasn't trying to be an activist. He said, man, I'm scared. LeBron James got $1 zillion. He's big and strong. He's this. He's scared. And black parents have a right to be. Don't distill it down to a, stat. Well, statistically, they shouldn't worry about. Statistically, there is zero chance ISIS is a threat to us. And you turn on conservative radio, and that's all you hear all day. All you hear. LeBron talked about.
So, what is it? What do you think about that clip?
First of all, I'm related to Emmett Till. And I grew up in a household where my father was military, defending this country, and then coming back home to Memphis, Mississippi. And I had never been exposed to that. For me to come back, to be exposed to all that. The temperament of my family, just the temperament of how humble, even now, I don't like to be in the spotlight. But thank you. I was put in the Hall of Fame last year.
Congratulations.
And I feel it. You understand? I feel it because I believe I've earned it. And there's nothing wrong with my family. There's nothing wrong with them saying something. Because we've been in the background for so long. You know, Martin Luther King, everybody has the NAACP. I wasn't able to join the NAACP my whole adult life because what they did to Mamie. You know, not just on the other side. So I wanted to get that out because a lot's happening. We just celebrated the 60th last year. Today's the 61st. 60th I went to, and I got to meet all the mothers who've lost all their children, to include some. Michael Brown's father was there.
Right.
And that, I'm never the same after that.
Right.
And to sit there and spend time with the young lady who was killed in Texas, her mother, Sandra Bland's mother, you know, that could be me.
Yeah, it could be me.
That could be you. That could be you.
Right.
It's that serious now. Targets.
Really serious.
I salute Mr. James. I just put on my Facebook, everybody, and I know a lot of people in a lot of genres, to use your platform.
By any means.
By any means necessary, use your platform.
Most def.
Because right now, your life depends on it, your children's lives,
Yep.
our lives,
future.
your mother.
Yes.
Oklahoma, 84-year-old woman tased.
That's crazy.
You understand me, Yaya?
Yes.
You know, there's so much every day. And you better pay attention.
Yeah.
And I have spoke so many times about black on black crime, black woman on black woman crime, Hispanic on black woman, all this. You know what? Just like I grew up in post-Nazi Germany.
Right.
One of the first things that Hitler did when he took over is put a law out, do not buy from the Jews. And nobody paid attention. Then he made them put stars on the windows. Then he took their businesses. Nobody did anything. He continued to push the envelope.
Right.
And we're seeing that here.
Right.
So this is not, no, let me sit back. And that's what LeBron James is talking about. His sons. You know, I worked for 2 state senators here. One was Daryl Jones. I remember when Daryl's son got pulled over because he was dating a young white Caucasian girl and he had dreadlocks. They didn't care if he was a black senator's son.
No, they didn't think about that at all.
In the Keys, when I worked in the Keys, I used to get pulled over. They thought I was a mule. I said, what the hell? Do I look like a donkey?
Right.
And they had explained to me what the hell a mule was. So guess what I did? I set up shop in all the sheriffs. All through the Keys. I put an office there, every place, all the way down the Keys. I am not a mule.
Question.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
What do you think what should we do? Because, I mean, nowadays, things are different. Now, I understand we used to fight heavy back in the day, but now it's like real modern. Like it's a different way of, it's like, you know, we got cameras and stuff, and it's not like, and as much as we protest, and even though they protest for a little while, they get quiet. But what else can we do? There's thousands and millions of people that are having all these supposedly quiet protesting or silent, without any violence, and then there's violence.
You want to hear it?
And then we hear about it briefly, and then it's vanished.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I've been in South Florida since 1992, 93. I came here in the military, sent here a presidential acclamation for Hurricane Andrew. Stayed, went to law school, University of Miami.
Hey.
Okay, they seen it when all of a sudden blacks in this, we're talking about South Florida, or are we talking about the world?
I'm talking about the world.
Okay. Let me talk about South Florida first, and I'll talk about the world.
Okay. Yeah.
South Florida, that incoming group of African-American politicians.
Right.
And now you see, I went down to eat in Overtown today. Not much left.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I went into Jackson's Soul Food. Okay? But that's because, I go to People's all the time, but they're closed, and I've never been in Jackson's. I never been in Jackson's.
That's what's hot right now.
So I went to give my money to, I said, okay, I've never been in here. I was going to wait because my Spelmanites, we were having a meeting there next month, but I said, no, I got to try me some pork chops somewhere. I got to have black soul food.
Right.
So I went into Jackson's. You're laughing at me, huh?
Hard to find.
Yeah. Went into Jackson's, and the guy greeted me and told me don't talk about peoples, and I said, see, that's the problem. Both of you all equally do agree.
Right.
I've never been here, but I'm here.
Right.
And the first thing I get is you're talking about a place I've been going to for 20-something years.
Wow.
I already know where you're going with this.
Okay?
I
And
agree.
he said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. The guys with the suits on met me at the door.
Yeah.
They set me down, and I went, the best place to find out how good of a soul food restaurant is try the smothered pork chops.
Right.
Okay? If you do pork chops right, there you go. I'm from the South, honey.
Yeah.
So they did a pretty good job. And he kept coming back.
Customer
I
service
left him
was
pretty
good?
good tip, yeah, because
Okay.
after I got him straight coming in the door,
Right.
you have to call people out now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Most
Okay, now, that's South Florida. Now, to me, a lot of folks have squandered that. They decided to put themselves in a box. Okay, and they've decided, I'm from Oklahoma. We are used to taking care of us politically. We are, you see, we protested, and look what we did. We went into a church to protest.
Right.
We didn't go out, shoot nobody. We just do things different.
Right.
We're talking about Black Wall Street. We're talking about Oklahoma.
Right.
Meaning red man, by the way.
Right.
So it's just different. Kansas City, Missouri, places, black strength and political power are different. Here, it's brutal.
I want to
Okay, you can go take the op, and y'all put the same people back in.
wait.
I've been watching this since 1993.
I agree.
Wow.
And it's like, what can I say? And this is what the world sees
Right.
you
Right.
and
Question.
us.
I mean, not even a question. It's more
Okay.
like a statement.
Yeah.
I own a business in Miami, so I know exactly what you're talking about. As a young business owner, and I'm a female, and I own a salon, it's more like there's
I need some.
several. I got you. I got you. But there's several girls out here that's my age in Miami that own salons and stuff like that, and we can't in this South Florida region. I don't even think there's one salon that that I could actually say that like a owner that said, "Hey, congratulations," or "Hey, salute, you doing your thing." That's me all day.
Yeah.
By any means necessary, I'm going to, "Hey, if I'm not available, go over to this salon, blah, blah, blah." I ain't never even received a thank you. Some of these salons don't even know me, but they should know that I've sent people like,
Right.
"Oh, this person's good in shortcuts." You don't really seeing me do shortcuts that often, but I would send some business your way because it ain't nothing wrong with paying it forward. There's too many people out in this world that we could be catering to, black, white, Indian, Haitian, Jamaican, Bahamian, whatever. And it's funny that you say that, but I've been, I do my part.
Y'all first people got to acknowledge they're American. Jamaican American, Bahamian, I don't care.
What people
Everybody got to know, I'm still African American. Okay, all I'm saying is if you look, Cuban Americans have come and prospered.
Most
Okay, with the help of African Americans
Right.
here in the community. Now you have the large Haitian American, by the way, I'm Haitian descent too.
Okay.
On my dad's side, out of New Orleans. So Haitian Americans have come. Look, we're in North Miami, prospering big
Right, of
time.
course.
You know, Andre, my classmate, UM Law. I mean, prospering. You know, so don't be haters now.
Don't.
Okay, not just. I'm just saying.
Unity is all we need.
Well, now we're gonna be unified.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
because now something bigger is telling you you're not other. You like everybody else.
Right.
Okay, and it's like you ever seen that Independence Day?
Oh yes.
Right. Everybody was all mad at each other until it came out. What the hell?
Right.
Right. That's what's going on now. What the hell? You know.
It's
So
crazy. We always stick together whenever
Okay.
things like this happen.
here's my plan. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Are you?
Yeah.
Here's my plan. You heard it first here.
Okay.
Shelia Chamberlain. I'll take the glasses off in a minute. I did comedy for a year. You have to laugh. You have to laugh.
Okay.
Okay. This is my plan. I am a George C. Marshall Award winner. At that time, it was only given to 50 cadets in the country, the top 50 cadets in the United States. That year, I was the first from Georgia Institute of Technology to win it, and the first woman from the South. Wow. And so it's given every year at VMI. It's an award given to a R.O.T.C. It's the highest R.O.T.C. cadet award you can get at the time. I'm a General George C. Marshall Award winner. Plus, I grew up in past Europe, of course, under the Marshall Plan. Now, what did he do? He went to town by town. The Marshall Plan basically concentrated on town. Let me bring that back up. Let me go to this town. Let me bring that back up. Right. We stopped doing that. We started at the end of World War II, 1945. We just ended it in 2008. We rebuilt all of Europe, and we did it town by town. Right. Now, LeBron James, we've had more people of color with money than we've ever had. We have billionaires.
Right.
We got Lil Wayne talking about my cousin, beat the you-know-what. We had to get him, okay? We had to shut him back. And now he's out there talking about he doesn't see what the racism is. The people that come to his concerts are white. Right. Okay, so you got more, and then he's going out to this King of Diamonds. They're throwing up $20,000. I said, dang, let me just go in there and get the $20,000, and I could take it to any nonprofit around here.
Yeah.
I could buy a lot of bicycles with that.
Nonprofit.
You understand?
I'm nonprofit.
So, but it's time to reach out to these people. LeBron James, and Colin Kaepernick, all you guys, get together, okay? The Kanye West, all you guys, and say, you know what? We're going to start with Miami first. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I mean, Pitbull was trained by Mr. Campbell. He's now called what? Mr. World? I said, Mr. World?
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
do you understand?
I understand.
Mr. Worldwide, convicted felon now, Mr. Worldwide. Just like that.
Yeah.
You know, so let's start with the most beautiful place on the planet, the Florida Keys, and of course, Miami. And let's start from the deep, deep south. You can't go no more than mile marker 0, all the way up, and start one town at a time. Let's wait till we build that up in the black community. Did we finish? You're doing good. You're reproducing. Okay, you're functioning.
Go to the
next town.
Yeah.
That is my plan. Next town. And guess what? We've been waiting this long. When is my turn? Well, let me see here. We got you guys scheduled for 2017. Right. We're going to finish here. We could do it fast because we have billionaires. We got money for people to come in here and do it fast. Okay? We got a wait period to make sure your business is functioning.
Once it starts going crazy in that one town, it's more like a movement. So now it's not so much that you got to... It takes time in that 1 or 2 or 3 cities, but by the time,
first,
it starts going. That's like it's a movement.
That's
Same way that girl created, or that group of girls created Black Lives Matter. It went from just the hashtag to a whole movement. Yeah. So that's definitely.
Or when we win a football game, everybody come out, don't they?
Yeah.
Or a championship. I'm like, I was watching Kansas City Royals, my mother's past team. You know, my uncle played for the Negro League. So when the Royals won, did you see all them people come out? Over 800 and 60,000 people. Not one shootout, not one person.
See, that's amazing.
Not 800. And I'm like, now see, if they could do that, they can go to the polls.
Right.
They could do that
for
for
this type of stuff. Right.
They can go to the polls or change the condition there.
Right.
Are you feeling me?
Yeah.
The money's there.
Yeah, the money's
You know,
definitely.
and you here, you do hair.
Yes.
There's so much business coming in this place.
Of course.
Did you hear what I said?
Most definitely.
You could have me locally. Remember when the economy went down, I picked 4 restaurants that I went to twice a week just to give my money because I had it.
I love it.
Twice a week, and now they're back up. They're doing good. They won all awards. And when I come in, they treat me special.
Yeah, of course.
They make me feel like I did something. All I did was what I learned in the military.
That's
you
right.
take care.
Yes.
You take care of your buddy.
Most
Right.
definitely.
That's
buddy.
it. So,
Right.
well,
Yes.
I had a
was
wonderful
excellent.
conversation.
That was excellent. We actually have another clip lined up. So we're
Okay,
gonna-
let's
we're
go
gonna check that
then.
one out.
Did I answer that all right?
You
Yes.
did. That was excellent.
So, Cornell, I want to talk to you about this last week. This young 10-year-old, very intelligent-looking young lady, a black young lady at a Pearland school who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. She is not willing to support the black Americans that have fought and died for this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly, but you know what I think? I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives, white, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Matt, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father's is a retired military service member also who served this nation well with great dignity. She also has additional family members who was in the armed forces.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman who has had long conversations as well as her father about her not standing for the flag. What white people need to understand
Just
is that,
white people?
Yes, please. Let me explain. What white people need to understand is that that national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key, a slave owner.
Oh, here we go.
Who demonized and hated black slaves and black people. And that unwritten third, that unheard of and unspoken third verse, go research the third verse where he says, there's no refuge in this country for the hireling or the slave. Both should be turmoil to the grave.
How's her parents doing?
This is a man
Are they successful?
that promised turmoil for black people to the grave. Would you ask Jewish children to say a pledge to a German anthem that disrespects Jewish people?
If they're
No, you
living
would
in
not.
Germany,
No,
sure.
you would not.
Well, sure.
That disrespects Jewish people?
Then
No,
why,
you would not.
You certainly can kneel down. In America, you have the right to do that. But what will happen to her, how her friends will respond, how the school will view her, how Americans will view her is very negative.
And,
this is not what you want for your 10-year-old child.
And let me say to that young girl and others like that young girl, America looked at the same way at Rosa Parks when she refused to get up and give up her seat to a white man on the bus. But history vindicated her. History vindicated her.
Two different
America
things.
demonized Harriet Tubman for freeing slaves from slavery, but history vindicated her. So I say to that young girl, you stand strong, stand up, and stand for what you believe in. And to all of those who are too coward to do it, don't get in that young girl's way. Others
What
like
would you
her,
like
support that young girl.
What would you like her to say to the men and women who have fought for this country like I ran into over the weekend, the black men and women who fought for this country, and some who gave their lives?
And ask the black men and women who served America in its military, like in the Independence War. We helped America get it, and we were still slaves afterwards. Ask those in Vietnam who gave their war on Vietnam battlefields, but then came back and was called niggers in their own country. We have fought in America's war, and we've never been given the justice and the due process of everybody else in this nation.
Then
So
why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here if you don't like it?
Let me tell you why. Because the country belongs to Indians. You white folks stole it from them, raped and robbed their people. This not your country. You all came over here and stole it and beat the hell out of them. So this not your country.
It was my country.
You all need to go home.
If you're
you
not
all need to go back where you came
if
from.
you don't like it, why don't you pack up and go?
Let the Indians decide who should pack up and go. And I guarantee you black folks will stay, and you all will be on the first damn boat leaving here. So don't try that, brother. You all didn't make America. This is not your country.
What you should do is sit down with someone who has fought for this country, Quanell, get their opinion too.
Tons of black people have, and what have we gotten from it?
Lord
That was
Jesus, it's
good.
a far.
That was good.
See, that's my thing. That's the issue. That's what we're dealing with right now. Like with the whole Kaepernick situation and him. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yours is on. It's on.
That's our number one issue right now. Like when Kaepernick decided that he didn't want to stand for
The national anthem.
excuse me. And all they want to talk about is the disrespect of him.
Right.
But no one wants to discuss the reasoning behind what he did. And this guy gave straight facts. Straight facts.
Right.
Like he quoted the actual
The song.
And
you know, we've been taught only the first verse or so of the song. It always ends at and the hum of the break.
Yeah,
right. That's all we know.
Stuff about
that's all we know.
They
So
took
we've
it out.
never paid attention to
So now
no
you got a little
refuge
10-year-old
will be given. Right. We've never paid attention to that until you actually do the research and you pull up those lyrics and you can see what it says.
This is the time we start paying attention and staying woke of what's really going on.
Right.
And I feel like it's a big joke on us. And like right I know you have something to say.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Yeah, but it just seems like it's a joke. Like I'm not saying Caucasians, not all Caucasians are racist. Not all black people are racist. And yes, there's black on black and there's white on white, but there's a lot of, public humility going on for the black community.
Right.
So it's disturbing
It's not
and
just for the
it's
black
ignorance.
community, it's people of color.
People of color.
People of color.
I'm-
Because,
exactly. People of color. Again, I'm not trying to categorize and put
it's fine
but
if
yeah,
do.
you get it.
It's fine
yeah.
if you do. It's okay.
Right. But yeah.
How you feel about this situation?
First of all, I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I'm just lost for words right now, by the way. That was just perfect. And to hear that man go off like that, because that's the truth.
But it
That's
was-
like this thing called Scandal on TV.
Yes.
I never watched it before. I only watched one time. And I said, why would anybody want to watch somebody who's a mistress to a white Republican? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But how we're portrayed on that box. Mm-hmm. And people got mad at me. You're not going to watch? I'm like, why would I want to watch a black, powerful woman be a mistress to a Republican president? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But this particular one I did watch because I agreed to it. Was when her father, the president, kidnapped her father, and the father told him, "You get the best of us." That was a hell of a scene. I never seen it on TV before.
That might have been the only episode I seen.
That was the only one I ever saw in my whole life. But it was the most powerful one of saying you get the cream of our crop, the best of who we are. And it all falls back to, look, I got relatives, black Seminole. My grandmother, was Cherokee. My mother, black hole Cherokee. So it's, we're all a mixture.
Right, of course.
We're a mixture. And, my Caucasian German roots, we're just a French, Canadian, but that was so powerful because I want you to remember three things: devalue, disrespect, and deny.
Right.
Caucasians do that. Devalue,
Every day.
disrespect, and then deny. That's what we just saw.
Right.
Yeah.
Devalue because it's not their argument.
Yes.
Okay, so now I have to devalue your being.
Of course.
Disrespect, I'm going to throw, because I served all my family.
He told us to move. He said just
You hear
move
me?
to another country.
All of our family served. to be up in D.C., my dad used to say, when you feel like you're broke, go to D.C. And I used to say, why, Dad? Because
I see what it's like to be broke.
no, sweetie, because you paid taxes and your ancestors built that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about? You ain't never broke.
Right.
You black in this country, you ain't broke. Just go to D.C.
Right.
That's your Department of Treasury, Sheila.
Right.
That's your Smithsonian, Sheila. That's your White House. You paid for it. That's your You understand?
Right.
As my dad said, you will never be broke. And don't let somebody come over here who refuses to be a part of the Americanism because we're entrenched in it. Don't let somebody tell you broke.
Right.
Or you don't mean nothing. Or you shiftless and you lazy. You didn't come from shiftless and lazy people.
Yes.
Okay? Now, I could go to Mississippi and show you stuff worse than Mississippi, just like in Haiti. I can show you the same stuff.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Don't come over here and think you other. You the same in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Crack-a-lacka. Okay? Don't think you different. Don't think you can go marry somebody in Utah, white, have their kids, run for mayor, and now you in Congress, and think, look at me.
Now you're...
Well, congratulations.
Right.
Let's see you get anything passed.
Right.
Miss Figure.
Wow.
Because people, I told you what? Devalue, disrespect, right?
Yep.
You hear me? And then deny.
Right.
So I'm going to pick who I want to up there. Clarence Thomas, I want to pick who I want to put in there, who's going to go with me.
Right.
And you've got to be able to see through that. That's what's happening. Am I helping here?
Yes, you
Definitely.
are.
Am I letting
Most
you see
definitely.
something? Am I helping? Because you all, it's your generation. Now, my nephew had a house up there near Fort Henry. I used to walk over there. That's, by the way, where it all happened, Fort Henry up there, Baltimore.
Okay.
Okay, got to know your history. Don't know your history?
You don't know nothing.
We can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, until you know your history and you're good with it, get mad, get angry, and then settle down.
Exactly.
Okay, now you all have a revolution, and the revolution is always with the youth.
Right.
Okay, I serve my country. I respect the flag. This will defend because I made it's an oath. I will defend. I will even defend the right for you to stand up. Okay? Now, Oklahoma City bombing, I lost a relative. Okay? I wasn't able to go home for Oklahoma City for a long time, and then I'll go buy her chair. Now, who did that was a Muslim. Timothy McVeigh and his they weren't Muslim.
Right.
You understand? And I always remind people, until you have lived in my family's shoes like that too, so that's 2 assaults of my family from Emmett Till. And, you hear me, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Right.
So you can't tell me, you hear me? And if this is how your generation feels, okay, because the Lord is going to come to make all these crooked places straight now.
Yes, definitely.
And you got to keep on going. And the first thing they're going to do is blame you. Blame you.
Of course.
You created this.
Of course.
Nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to do this. You know? You feel me? And it's going to take, a lot of black males are in prison. They created that system where you get paid to turn
course.
people in.
Yep.
Now everybody's finally looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're going to have to elect young politicians to go in there like I was eager in the 60s and the 70s. Shirley Chisholm, I got a chance to work with her
I
as
was her
you
in
hear
a
me?
play, actually.
I'm just saying all these greats. Wilder Brown Chappelle, my mentor in aviation, who created the Tuskegee Airmen.
Right.
Do you understand? She's the one who did all the writing, and my other Spelman sister, you hear me, Janet Bragg, who bought the planes so they could go, and go to Congress and get this done.
Right.
Willa was good friends with then Senator Truman. You hear me? And then for him to integrate the military after World War II, it started from there and then it spread throughout the country, but it was slow coming.
Right.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So the military has a great place.
Yeah.
And now we have so many people in combat coming back, and they're mad. Yeah. But don't, you know what? Take the money away from the NFL players. You don't want to do it, don't go to the games.
Right.
Okay? But that doesn't give you the right. The Constitution just doesn't work for you when you want it to.
Yeah.
Constitution of the United States works for everybody, to include giving you the right to protest. Mm-hmm. You think I like to watch Fox, all that? Now they got this thing called Empire on, and everybody watching the Empire on Fox, and I'm like, what? But that's me. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing what you're doing, creating your own.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
All right? And now the world's watching Cookie, and I know they're doing good and all that and getting awards, but god dang. You know, I call the black version of JR, Dallas. It's okay, but it just, it's rough.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's how the world sees you. Yeah. Do you understand? That's how the world sees us.
Right.
Hip Hop Atlanta. I've only seen it 2 times. Okay, you got a former, what is it? Don't get me wrong, Hip Hop Atlanta. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Because right now I've been stuck on this, what do you call it, Little Women of L.A., cracking me up.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so just to go, my God, even the Little Women of L.A. got the drama going on.
Oh,
everybody got the drama going on.
Ignorance is bliss right
Little
now.
Women of L.A. And
it's
you know, some of
selling.
them are movie stars.
It's selling.
You know, they're in some of these movies, and it's like, look at this stuff. So anyway, I didn't mean to. Did I answer that question?
Yeah, you did.
Are you sure? How did I answer? Tell me how to answer. Huh?
Good.
The bottom line was the Constitution applies to everybody.
Right.
Okay? Now, me, personally, I would not do that. Mm-hmm. That's me, and I have a right to think.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And if he's using his platform because you guys are being killed off like a bunch of rats.
Right.
Okay? And if he's using his platform with that, you know, I applaud him. I smile. I'm even going to buy a number 7 jersey to hang it up. He's like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain changed basketball. He doesn't get any credit for it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Bill Russell gets all the credit for it until 50 years, and it finally came out who really did the work. Okay? Wilt changed the formation of University of Kansas in a Jim Crow white town. Mm-hmm. His first job was with the Harlem Globetrotters. You hear me?
Yeah.
He went around the world. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so he knew who he was. He played for the 76ers, but he lived in Harlem.
Right.
He brought his money to Harlem.
Right.
He bought a business in Harlem.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
He was making millions, but look where he put his money. And that's the truth, Ruth. All right? That's the true truth.
So tell me, yes, you are.
I hope I'm making you all think, because
you are.
I'm talking out now.
Yeah, it's serious.
Okay? Yeah. Because we won't be in our little cars, or some people you like those flashy Maseratis, Maybachs, all German cars. You know, BMWs, Bavarian Motor Works, and you ain't gonna be able to have that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You like it now? You like the house? Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to have that. Can you imagine? Because life can flip like that.
Most definitely. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Ask Haiti with the earthquake.
Right.
They had one today too, didn't they? Another one? Yeah. So, you feel me?
Yeah.
Don't be blaming people now. I mean, that's just an act of God.
Yeah.
Don't be mad.
Yeah. No.
So, you got to clean it up. You all got to clean it up. Mm-hmm. People trying to help you clean it up. Don't be mad at the people trying to clean it up because you're not cleaning it up the way you want them to clean it up.
Exactly.
And am I making sense?
Yeah.
That's where conflict comes in. Now, I'm helping you the way I know how to help you. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want that help.
Right. Yeah.
Am I make sense?
Yes,
But I really am trying to help you. And help it's a God-given gift.
Yeah.
Come to help you. You hear me? So let me receive your help.
Right.
And you're giving what you can. Doesn't mean you're coming in to own me.
Right.
And it doesn't mean I'm coming to own you either.
Right.
You hear me?
Right.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. So we have another clip, and we're going to check that one out and see what's in store for us.
Okay.
I got to talk to you about something, Earl. Something really important, let you know. Your mama ain't raising no thugs in the streets. Wanna tell you, keep your head up, baby boy, cause you're a king. See, back in the time, I never thought I'd see the day that I will have a son. Can't nobody take your place. Gotta watch what you do. This world is heartless. Ain't trying to see you end up here like Trayvon Martin. And when you alone and feeling hopeless, I'ma always have your back and keep you focused. Ain't gon' sugarcoat nothing, baby, I'ma keep it real. The system ain't made for you instead of for you to feel. That's why I try to teach you what's important. That's why I keep you casual, no Jordans. Cause your future is bright and I know that you gifted. Don't let them call you white cause you speaking proper English. And all the material things, tell them they can have it. That's why I feed your thoughts because your brain is a weapon. Ain't trying to see you out there slaying drugs with the burner. Your granddad died from drugs and your dad locked down for murder. I hope you see the day that they parolee. Cause every day black man is gunned down by the police. Don't give up trying to tell you that the world is wild. They just stop you just because you fit the profile. Your daddy here to teach you how to be a man. But my plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated.
That was so cute.
Yeah, value.
Yeah.
You're appreciated.
Right.
I value you.
Right.
You count. You have a purpose.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You're here to do something. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You know? You know, I'm a young preacher, and I always say, look at here. You know, look at Jesus. One day, he's on the donkey coming in, right? The palms. Shooting. A couple of days after that, God dang. Everybody's like, kill him!
Right.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then remember, he had 12, right?
Yeah.
Disciples. He had 12. You hear me? I'm going through something right now. I got a friend who's Peter now. What did Peter do? Denied him what?
Yeah, three times.
I'm working. Somebody who I've been knowing over 20-some years and is acting like Peter now. But
Wow.
this is because my father always told me, and my mother too, with any circle of friends you have, just remember Jesus with the 12. You're going to have a Judas. You're going to have a Peter. You're going to have a John. You're going to have your brothers there going, saying no, or your siblings. If they're in the business, you're going to have that. Just remember, when they start talking about women, what happened when they killed them? All the men ran away.
Right.
Took off, hid. And it was the women who came, cleaned him up, put him in there, found out he was gone. You hear me? And even Doubting Thomas still doubted until he came and showed him and said, even Doubting Thomas, you've been with me for how long? And you still doubting me? Just remember the 12. No matter what you do in your life, and don't take it personal against them. They just are who they are.
Right.
Are you feeling me?
Most def.
So back to value. She's showing him value plus the message that you all have to teach your kids.
Right.
Because this is the times we are living in now. You got to teach yourself too. Watch out. Make sure when you stop at that light, I better put the blinker on.
Right.
I could be pulled over.
Right.
Right?
That could be the end.
I was going to North Carolina. I got family up there. Okay? I was going to North Carolina, and I said, whoa. I said, Tracy, I may not come up there. She's like, well, I said, well, I may get shot because I got a Florida tag.
Right.
Just like that. I had to pull the brakes on for a second.
Right.
Do you understand? This is what we're living in now. And it's unfortunate, and it's going to take you guys to stand up.
Of course.
It's your generation now.
Yep.
You're going to have to stand up. That's why the African American Smithsonian Museum is so beautiful. Because it's smack dab. By the way, the history of that goes back to 1915. They've been trying to do that since 1915.
Right.
And it didn't get the push until 1988. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
When Daddy Bush was in. Did you feel me?
Yep.
And it's funny that his son is the one who actually signed it in 2003. You follow me?
Yeah.
And during Emmett's 50th, you feel me? Mr. Bunch came up out of respect for Emmett's 50th anniversary death. And I don't know if you all knew this, but they reopened Emmett's case. The FBI did. So they exhumed his body.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay, and then there were a lot of people down in the South saying, oh, they lying. Emmett's walking around doing great. Yeah. So they exhumed the body to open up the case back up in 2005. And then they took the old casket, and that particular black cemetery was horrible. They found his casket with a lot of possums and raccoons living in it. And of course, the family, we were all mad. But Mr. Bunch came and he says, may I have that casket to go into the museum? And of course, the family said yes.
Right.
And my phone blew up this weekend of that casket. They said that casket, because of you all are dealing with Trayvon Martin and all those guys, but honey, it was way okay. I mean, a lot happened to Emmett.
Right.
Okay, you need to really know that story. And now you got everybody wanting to do a thing. What Will Smith and Jay-Z want to do on HBO. Everybody want to do something now.
Yeah.
And we've only Christian Mrs. Ebert, Two Thumbs Up's wife, to do the movie. But things are coming out now.
Right.
All right.
And you all need to know that history.
Yeah.
Most def.
Okay? And we got you, but y'all got to stand up and do it the right way, which you all are doing. And you need to hold your peer group, LeBron James, all these folks, you need to call them. Hey, can you come here? All they can say is no.
Right.
Back then we talked to each other. You hear me? Don't you think it's tough for a black female? I was in intelligence. Don't you think I got the scars to prove it?
Right.
Being called nigger bitch. You hear me? Only woman is assigned to a lot of these units. And now you got all these women going, they're the first this, they're the first that. No, baby, wait in line. You understand? So we're all getting able to come out now because that's how truth is.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So your generation has got to do it. By the way, I like Pitbull. I just want to go back. I like Pitbull. I want you. I love that. I'm glad you're from here. I love Pitbull. Don't get me wrong with that. But I'm just talking about the situation, and just to go ahead and seal the deal on what we were talking about with LeBron James and all that kind of stuff. As a woman, you being a woman, it's going to take us women. It's just going to take, this is what.
Most def.
We have babies.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just the way it is.
Pretty powerful.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it's going to do. And it's the temperament. So go register to vote and vote early.
Right.
Right.
Those are my sentiments. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming out. It was
you
were
something, Mrs. Yaya?
Yeah.
very informative.
So I guess I'll send people and I really need my hair done. I
got you.
I don't mind. So about that, Mrs. Dria?
It was great.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I learned a lot, a wealth of knowledge.
So I
Definitely.
hope I expressed something good.
You did. Do you have any social media you would like to tell the people to follow you on?
No,
She
they
said
don't
she
have
behind
to
the
follow
scenes.
me.
No,
I'm a
no,
recluse.
No.
This will be a rare interview.
Okay.
If they can look for me. I'm in the Library of Congress twice. I'm also on the Congressional Record twice. And, women's veteran issues. I led the largest congregation in the country for the Women in Military Service to America. It's the only living memorial museum for women in the military.
Wow.
Okay, so you have Congress, right? Now you have the African American Museum, right? Then you have the Washington Monument. Then you have the Lincoln Memorial. And then you have the Women's Memorial.
All right.
And a lot of people don't make it past the Lincoln.
Salute to you.
Right.
So when you go in there, I registered Harriet Tubman because I was a charter member in 1997. Okay. We raised $11 million. It took us through. We were still in the military, raising money. A lot of us, when we got out, we raised $11 million to get that property back there.
Wow.
So I'm very proud to have been the one to register Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. That's excellent. So I want to thank you for taking the time out to come to the show. It was a pleasure having you.
Salute to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Most
Miss
definitely.
Yaya?
Yes.
It was a pleasure having you.
Ms.Dria.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Please stay tuned to the Ms.Dria show. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll come back with so much more.
Try